For a man who is better at stagecraft than almost any leader in U.S. history, this morning President Obama chose Rangoon, Burma, as the backdrop to remind this country and the rest of the world about what America stands for. And he did it in his bare feet. Burma, also known as Myanmar, has been sealed off for nearly half a century. In the interim, a brutal military dictatorship has slaughtered its own, driven the economy to ruin, and eliminated nearly every basic freedom. But in recent months, change has come to Burma, with new leadership, the release of hundreds of political prisoners, and, at least so far, the gradual restoration of basic rights. Less than 2 weeks after his triumphant re-election on what will be his last international trip with Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, President Obama explained why he was there.
Above all, I came here because of America's belief in human dignity. Over the last several decades, our two countries became strangers. But today, I can tell you that we always remained hopeful about the people of this country. About you. You gave us hope, and we bore witness to your courage.
Early this morning, Air Force One landed on the tarmac in Rangoon, no longer the capital of Burma, but the heart and soul of the country and the seat of the pro-democracy movement. As the president's plane touched down, it was a repudiation of the once powerful military regime and the fake capital constructed in the north of the country. Having thus drawn Burma's leaders to the city they once abandoned, when President Obama met with his Burmese counterpart, he did so alongside pro-democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi, whose decades-long struggle to free her country from the yoke of repression earned her the Nobel Peace Prize.
The United States has been staunch in its support of the democracy movement in Burma, and we are confident that this support will continue through the difficult years that lie ahead. I say difficult because the most difficult time in any transition is when we think that success is in sight. Then we have to be very careful that we are not lured by a mirage of success and that we are working towards genuine success for our people and for the friendship between our two countries.
For the Burmese who waited patiently for Suu Kyi to be released from nearly 15 years of house arrest, this was an unimaginable moment. Two Nobel laureates charting the course from war to peace.
So today I've come to keep my promise and extend the hand of friendship. America now has an ambassador in Rangoon. Sanctions have been eased, and we will help rebuild an economy that can offer opportunity for its people and serve as an engine of growth for the world. But this remarkable journey has just begun and has much further to go. Reforms launched from the top of society must meet the aspirations of citizens who form its foundation. The flickers of progress that we have seen must not be extinguished. They must be strengthened. They must become a shining North Star for all this nation's people.
But for the thousands of students and nurses and cab drivers who took to the sidewalks to catch a glimpse of the motorcade of the very first U.S. president to ever set foot inside their country, it was perhaps most stunning to see America's commander-in-chief at the Shwedagon Pagoda, one of the holiest places in the country and the birthplace of the 2007 revolution that sent tens of thousands of Buddhist monks into the streets, demanding an end to violence, torture, and repression. According to the White House, it was an impromptu visit. And like every other worshiper, President Obama went shoeless, walking in the same steps that countless hundreds had walked before him, among them, perhaps, his own ancestors. For the president's Kenyan grandfather, who served in Burma under the British during World War II, there would have been no way to foresee a future where his grandson might take the hope and desire for change that elected him president of the United States and bring that spirit of redemption back to the very same place where he had served so many years ago. Or that a few hours later, Burmese President Thein Sein, taking his own first fledgling steps towards democracy, would look at this shoeless American from humble origins and say to him, as he did today, "I want to do what you've been talking about. I want to move forward." That's the last word. I'm Alex Wagner in for Lawrence O'Donnell. The Ed Show is up next.